Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for TNT on Tuesday, October 25th. So this is how this works. This is the first time I've done this, so I'm going from memory, guys. Sorry. First time I've done it without Laura or Bill. I am going to give you guys the stage today. You get to ask the questions, and I'll do my darndest to answer them for you. My specialty is marketing. You may not know me, but that is where I have created and carved out my own little path here in the notary world, and that is marketing my business. So I would love to answer any and all of your marketing questions today until Laura pops up. She, is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. She is the one that knows all the notary laws and all that good stuff. I usually refer to my state handbook. I live in the state of Texas. I'm in Dallas. So if those kinds of questions pop up, we may put them on hold till Laura gets on the call with us. Matt, I see you've got your hand up. Hey.
How's it going, Jen? Hello, everyone.
I'm winging it. Can you tell?
You're doing great. You're doing a great job, hon. So I thought I'd kick us off by taking up on your offer. And my question is, what are the new trends going into the next year in advertising and marketing that you're seeing?
Wow, that's a really good question. And I just realized I skipped over Daniel Brewer, and I apologize, Daniel. I'll get to you in just a moment. I love that question. What are the new trends? I think the biggest trend that I am seeing, and it's not something I'm actively seeing yet as far as being put into practice broadly, but people are really, really interested in how can I stop floating around in this sea of sameness? Everybody's doing the same stuff, right? Everybody's delivering the Starbucks gift cards. I don't know where that idea hatched, but that, nobody's thinking local. And I think it's funny you brought this up, Matt, because just today, Cami Corvin and I wrapped up a series inside Notary Business Builder called Small Town Marketing Secrets. And the secret kind of is these tactics work in a small town and in a big city. She lives in teeny tiny Capitola, California. I think there's like 10,000 people that live there. I live in Dallas. We have 4.5 million people here, but the same marketing strategies work. And it's really about getting involved in your community and moving away, Matt, from that transactional frame of mind and thinking, I just want a job. I just want a paycheck. I mean, it's hard to move away from that right now because we are in this, it's been a tough year. It's like, this transition year we're in with this industry. And I think people are really looking to become more involved in their community. And by way of that, they are becoming more well-known in their communities. My kids joke with me all the time, and they say that I think I'm a local celebrity. They're like, oh, mom just thinks she's, this local celebrity. But the truth is that a lot of people where I live know me. And because they know me, because I've gotten involved in volunteer opportunities, and I've gotten involved in my chamber and different associations and things. They're the one they call me anytime they need a notary. And who needs a notary? Everybody at some point, right? And I know you believe that too, Matt. So you know that everybody is our customer. So I would say to wrap that up, I would say really just kind of getting involved in your community more than depending on that one transaction from your title company or your attorney. It's just being more a part of where you live. And I think that you will attract a lot of business that way. And I see the GOAT has joined us. Hi, Laura.
Hi.
Hi. I went ahead and kicked us off. Bill is not joining us today.
Okay.
So I completely butchered your introduction, like you normally do at the top of the hour. So I apologize. Matt swooped in to save me a little bit. So.
Of course, he's my go-to saver.
I know. I was like, thank God.
Well, Matt's going to help us out in the chat today and help field some of those questions that people are not brave enough to ask us. But if you want to ask a question, of course, Phil's demonstrating it for us. Put the hand up so we know you have a question you want to ask us. for sure. If anybody on the call doesn't happen to know me, I'm Laura Biewer, and I am the founder of Coach Me Laura, as well as the creator of Notary Symposium. And I'm going to have you practice doing something with me. Down at the bottom of your screen, you might see something called reactions. And if you got your symposium box, your welcome box, would you use a reaction so I can see if you got it? Because I know several people already got it yesterday. So we sent them out. They'll be out in the next 7 to 10 days. And if you're an attendee for symposium, the box went out. Matt, you got yours already? Holy smokes. Yeah, we put out just under 300 boxes. I had 7 more that had to go out yesterday that I had to put together. So in any case, that's exciting that that's coming up. We do have a few boxes left. So if somebody still wants to get a seat for symposium, it's November 11th and 12th, and I'll make sure you get a box if you sign up. Go to notarysymposium.com. Now let's talk about today a little bit. We're going to allow you to ask us questions, any question that you want. All we ask is that you start off with who you are and the state you're from, so that we are sure to give you a specific answer if it's state specific related. And then you can start with my question is, and we'd be happy to answer that. And if we need a little backstory to go with it or more detail, we'll certainly ask for it. And either myself or Jen can respond to it. And of course, if you do put something in the chat, Matt's going to be fielding that. Matt, if something gets in the chat that probably should be forwarded to us, you can interrupt us and say, hey, I've got one in the chat, probably would be good for everybody to hear. All right, so I think we're good to go, right, Jen?
Yeah. We already had a first great question by Matt, which was new advertising trends for the coming year. So we were kind of able to cover that. And the short answer was getting involved in your community. And Phil, I saw that you are hopping off the call early, so you probably want to tell us about your call immediately after this one.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Laura. I want to thank, I think, Tabitha, Matt, and all the others who put together the notary boxes that are coming from the Notary Symposium. Looking forward to getting mine. I said I have mine because I think it's on the porch, but I just haven't got to the porch yet. But as most of you know, my question is, are you going to be at the Zoom presentation 5 minutes after the end of the TNT today? I know Bill's real good at putting in the chat, so it may not be the area of expertise for Laura or Jen, but my phone number is in the chat. I'll copy and paste my what I just sent out, so you can find my phone number. Please text me and I'll be happy to get you that link. Laura actually referred me to a new member this morning. I was able to take care of Jenny Wood and help a lot of other people and help many notaries. So if you want to find out how you can protect, how you can grow your business, and also specifically I'm going to talk about the Trend Micro, the VPN, and the password manager, the new services that we've added specifically that I don't know how any notary can be without those aspects of our service. So thanks again. Always a great platform. Always great to see TNT back in business. And we look forward to seeing Bill and hope he's doing really well. So thanks, everybody.
Phil, I just put your phone number in the chat box for anybody that would like to reach out to you to get the link for his call immediately. Well, not immediately, about 5 minutes after this one.
Fabulous. Thanks, Phil. Daniel.
Morning, everybody. Good afternoon. I am up here in Oregon. My question is more of not really a question, but an observation. I am trying to reach out to many of you simply because I'm trying to expand my one-to-one network. And besides, I think it's my task for whatever day of Bill's program it was to reach out to people. It's interesting to me how I see people in these kinds of forums here. And when I go to reach out to them, I cannot find a phone number for them. I find what city they're in. I find their website. Sometimes I see their Google profile, but there's not a call to action. And I'm not sure what your guys' business is like, but right now it's the general notary work and the phone calls I'm getting that are keeping me alive and busy. So I would just remind everybody that when you've got your media, whatever your media marketing strategy is, I mean, if you go to my website, you'll see my phone number and I actually have my address because I do drive-bys, but my phone number and my email address and all my information is very prominent. And it was kind of shocking to me that I had like 5 names written and 3 of them I did not call, was not able to call because I could not find their information. They're people that are always on TNT that we're talking to all the time. And I'm thinking, well, that's a good point. That might be somebody I want to reach out to. I have actually had some success with reaching out to some of my colleagues when I had one signing, for example, that started here in Oregon and ended in Las Vegas. And I was able to point them to a colleague I knew in Vegas. And I also had one in Dallas. I was able to point them to sadly to a Cowboy fan there. Sorry about that, Jen. So the network I think we build across that we do here is important. I just remind people, and I was even going to SnapDocs profiles. I was trying to find people on Notary Cafe and their phone numbers were NA. And I'm like, okay, well, that's how people are going to find you. I mean, if I ever have to call Laura, I mean, I've got her in my phone now, but I don't have to go very far. I go to her website and it's right there on the front. If I type notaries in Modesto, she comes up #1. I'm never going to have a problem with her phone number, trying to get her if I need to. So just reminding everybody, if you're doing your marketing, man, make those call to actions need to be very prominent and make there be no, I mean, we always know the number one marketing tool we have is our business card, and we wouldn't put a business card out there without our phone number. So just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. I hope everybody I'm going to be in and out today, but Notary Masters, not this week, but next week. Also wanted to point out that Notary Masters Toastmasters is having a special open house on the 10th. I see Celicia's next up, and just wanted to remind you, she can wave at you because she's going to be one of our guest speakers on that special open house on the 10th, talking about ongoing learning. That'll be a nice lead into the symposium. So anybody, Notary Masters, Toastmasters, not this week, but the following Tuesday, November 3rd, and then again every other twice first and third Thursdays. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Daniel. And just to follow up to what he said is answer your phone when you get called. I got to tell you how many times I've reached out to help somebody else hand off a job to them and they didn't answer their phone. And the voicemail didn't even let me know that they're a notary. So really do that.
I've gotten so much work from the guy said, you're the one that picked up the phone. I called you because you were the one that answered. So they'll just call if they don't get anybody, they just call the next guy. So anyways, make yourselves visible. Thank you very much. Have a great week, everybody.
Thanks so much. Good reminder for all of us. Hey, Alicia, your turn. Are you available?
Hey there, Miss Laura. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
I know not everyone's interested in being a wedding officiant, but tonight on Clubhouse at 7 o'clock, we're doing, we do on Clubhouse. We're going to have about 6 or 8 wedding officiants on there. So if folks are interested in expanding their business, it'll be on the Notary Cousins page.
Okay. And you know what, Lisa, do you have Rainbow in California? Do you already have somebody?
No, but I need to.
I have somebody.
Great.
You know, the issue I had the other day, she
Yes.
just got herself all pulled together. I would love for her to be connected with you.
Fantastic. And let's just go over that issue that you asked for me the other day. Can an Alabama marriage license be signed in California? The answer is no. But
No.
can a Texas marriage license be signed in California? The answer is yes. Go figure. Every law has its own states laws, and you can tell folks from Texas, but you can't tell them much, right, Jen Neitzel? And a Texas marriage license can be used in Illinois or Idaho or Savannah, Georgia, for that matter. But if you get married in California, you need a California license. If you get married in Alabama, you need an Alabama license, and an Alabama license is no good in California. So there you go.
And there you go. Sometimes our jobs just get a little complicated. And that's when I need to reach out. I reached out to Celicia. I'm not an officiant, so I don't know the ins and outs of that. So I reached out to a colleague that I felt was very knowledgeable, and we worked through different scenarios. Maybe it's this, maybe it's this, maybe we can do this. In the end, I had to find somebody who was a notary in our county that does officiant. And she was in Philly, Nina. So Nina Ratliff, we need to get her hooked up. All right, thanks so much. Next, Yolanda.
Hello, I'm Yolanda from California. And my question is about witnesses on documents. If a document requires a witness and the witness is there and the client doesn't know whether the witness needs to be notarized, should we notarize them anyway or do it on a separate document? Or how would you handle that?
That's a great question. And so one way you can tell is look at the notary wording itself. Sometimes it'll have 2 lines, one for principal, one for witness, or a 3rd line for 2 witnesses. That's one way for me to know is that the certificate has been set up for all of them to have their signatures notarized. Or if I just see it as principal signer only and there's no room for anybody else, then it's just the principal signer. If that's not an obvious clue for you, it is up to the signer to make that decision of whether or not the witnesses will be included in the notary certificate. And then they may have to call an issuing agency or receiving agency. Of course, if we're doing a loan signing, we might call our hiring company. So there's lots of resources to help us get to that conclusion.
And so would their name go on the same line with the principal signers? The witnesses?
Well, if it's determined that yes, they want the witnesses' signatures notarized as well, and there's just one big long line, they can all go on the same line.
Okay. Okay, that was my question. Thank you.
You're welcome, Yolanda. And that's pretty much across the board, not just California. When you have questions about whose signature needs to be notarized, they need to be telling us, or a hiring company needs to be telling us, or the document has instructions to tell us. All right, thank you. Paula. Can you unmute yourself, Paula? If you're on your phone, there you go.
Yeah. Hey, I was wondering what time tonight, Arizona time, for the wedding officiant
Oh, that was Celicia. What time is Clubhouse?
for Arizona time.
7 o'clock Eastern.
So I don't know the difference between Arizona and,
Seven
Pacific.
o'clock Eastern.
but it's going to be earlier. It's probably 5 o'clock. I would
5
think
o'clock,
it's
isn't it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's 5 o'clock.
5, okay.
4, oh,
Right.
I'm getting a 4 o'clock down here from Anisha. Yeah.
What time? 4?
So
It's a
before
3-hour
Arizona
time
time?
difference.
Yeah, you know what? There's 3 hours difference between California and East Coast, and we're on the same time frame until next week when we go to
Right.
daylight savings time,
That's
and
right.
then we're in different time zones. So for now, it's 4 o'clock
4 o'clock today. Okay.
today.
All right.
Okay,
Sounds good. Thank you.
you're welcome, Paula. All right, anybody else? I hope you're not putting all your questions in the chat. We can't see you in the chat. Anybody have any wins they want to share? Let me see. Oh, I do have an announcement to make. So there are only 26 conference seats left for the NNA. Also, their early bird, I think, is ending on the 31st. So
Mhm.
we'll see what they run out of first, time or seats. But the early bird pricing is in effect. There are 26 full conference seats available. If you want assistance with that, I'm happy to help you with that, but you can also go right to the NNA website to do it.
I was also wondering about Bill. How is he doing? Everything's okay?
Bill is recovering. Jen, you talked with Bill today?
I did. I talked with him this morning.
Good morning, this is Alan.
He's today is kind of a rough day.
Hello, how can I help you?
Oh, Alan is working over here. Let me put Alan on mute really quick. There we go. He is having, today's been a little rough just with his energy. His energy kind of waxes and wanes a little bit. So that's the biggest issue. And there's no predictor on how he's going to feel, when he wakes up. So he's just trying to be extra cautious and take really, really good care of himself. I think the expectation for a pulmonary embolism is about a 6-month average recovery time. I know, and it seems like he's been gone for a year, right? Like it feels like he's been away forever, but he is every day, I think feeling just a little bit better and getting a little more control. Thank you for asking, but I will let him know that you asked about him, Paula.
Yeah, I was gonna text him today, but I don't know if I should, because if he's not doing good today, I'd let him rest today.
Yeah. And I think he's kind of gotten to the point where I know, like with me and Laura too, if he's not able to answer us, he just doesn't answer. You know, he's not feeling that pressure on the phone and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, he is prioritizing his health, which is really hard to do when you're an entrepreneur, I think. It's
Right.
hard to do.
Okay.
So, yeah, proud of him for that.
All right. Thanks, Paula, for asking, and it gave us a chance to update everybody. Let's see. Yolanda, are you back? You mean to have your hand up?
Yes, I have a win. I just got approved for my Google business page. When I first tried to set it up, it was it was suspended before I even got it set up. So I sent them all kinds of documentation, my bank statement with my business name. I sent them a screenshot of my Facebook page, my LinkedIn page, my Instagram page. And just today, they said it's reinstated. So that's my win. And then one question for you, Laura. I did your real world training for California some months back. And at that time, I didn't really know what I didn't know. So now, is there any way for me to get a replay to go over? Because now that I'm doing more general notary, I'm getting these calls and then I'll go, I have my notes and I say, I remember Laura talked about this, but I just, wasn't sure about, like, I had a passport for consent form.
Oh yeah, I go over that.
You went over that,
So,
right?
Yolanda, if you would just pop me an email at laura@coachmelaura.com, I will send you the link. Not a problem. Anybody who actually paid and attended a real world training, and if you don't have the replay and you would like to get it, send me an email and I'll take care of it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay. You're welcome. Okay, and if you did not attend one, but I already did it, so I'm not doing a live version right now, you can purchase it by going to coachmelora.com/real, REAL. And you'll find all the states. I've probably got about 22 states so far. All right, Alan, we see your hand.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Alan.
So I have a question on a power of attorney. I'm in California, and the person who the power of attorney is for already has a power of attorney. So the power of attorney that they already have is going to sign another power of attorney to add the person's two daughters as power of attorney so they could move money from bank accounts to another bank account. So I know I can't notarize capacity. So if the power of attorney is signing for the person, how would I do it?
Well, they can sign in the capacity. That's not a problem. So they might be signing, Joe Smith as attorney in fact for Jane Smith. That might be their signature line, whatever that is. But in your certificate, you're only going to write the person who's standing in front of you, their name only in the certificate without any representation.
Okay. That's what I was going to do. I just wanted to confirm that. Okay. That sounds good.
All right, Alan, anything else we can help you with?
That was it for me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Catherine.
Hi, I'm Catherine from Winter Garden, Florida. And my question is, I'm just starting the signing agent. I was a signing agent 4 years ago, and then I stopped, so now I'm back. Besides mailing your info to title companies, what companies have you used to sign up to get signings from them? Like, I noticed that there's Nations Direct, and there are a couple others that you could join, and they would somehow be the middle person to give you notary signings. I wasn't sure what I was reading.
Okay, Catherine, and I think I'll share this question with Jen, but I am going to tell you that you've got title companies that are hiring companies. You've got signing services who are kind of the middlemen that hire notaries directly, and then they have the relationship with the title companies. There are the way you get in contact with either one. One way is they find you through directories. The NNA, if you're certified with them, that's one directory. Another way that they find you might be on a signing platform like SnapDocs or signing orders. That might be another way they find you. A third way is for you to find them. And a good way to do that is with notaryreviews.org, or not org, net. Notaryreviews.net. That was created by Carrie, who's a notary in Illinois, Chicago. And it stemmed from reviews that people like myself gave of the hiring companies. And then Carrie added contact information, and there's about 1,000 of them on that database. If you join that, they're rated 1 to 5 stars. So you could take the 4 and 5 star ones, see what the contact is, it a website, is it an email, and then reach out to them, try to get on their database. Because then if you're in their database, you're upstream from those that are just in any database. Now, Jen, would you like to add to that?
Well, the first thing that came to my mind is exactly what you just said, Laura, and that is notaryreviews.net. Carrie has curated a list of, well, I should say Carrie, all working loan signing agents have worked together to curate a private list. And by private, I mean, you do have to pay for her site, but it's worth every single penny. Absolutely join it. And she does not allow signing service owners to be a part of it, which means these are true reviews. Start with all your 5-star places and get signed up, right? And then 4-star, because those are the ones that are paying on time, they're easy to work with, et cetera, et cetera. If you want help with your in-person marketing, which is really the long-term sustainable choice, in my humble opinion, especially with the crazy market we're in right now, just reach out and let me know. Signing agent marketing is set up specifically for that. That's what we teach, is just how to face-to-face market with your title companies, and really anybody that works with notaries, attorneys, tow yards, hospitals. It's just how to do that in-person marketing that it can be really challenging if it's not something you've ever done before, but it is the foundation and basis for building relationships with these offices. And that's a good way to kick off that relationship is doing it in person. You said something about mailing flyers.
Yeah, I have a list of some title companies, so I sent them a packet with my notary certificate, my background check.
So oftentimes, and I know that is a kind of an idea that comes to a lot of us, oftentimes those packages end up in the trash can, unfortunately. And I'm not saying that to be rude, I'm just saying it to deliver the truth. And they want, if a title company or an attorney's office is going to hire you to be to work with their customer, they're looking for professional representation, and they need to see you. How do you dress? How do you present yourself? If you walk in flip-flops and a tank top and shorts, you know, they're not gonna want to hire you. From a flyer, they know, because they get their headshots done all the time, that your best self is presented there. And how many times have you gotten a business card or a flyer with somebody's picture on it, and then you meet them in person and you're like, is that even the same person? They know that, which is another reason to do the hard thing and go and meet them in person. They're looking for professional representation. They can't tell that from a flyer.
Some of the title companies that I was working with, a notary who's been doing this for a long time, are like, I'm in Central Florida, and they're in the title companies in North or South Florida looking for a signing agent in this area.
Totally different. You know,
So,
if you're, and I'm, you're at that point, you're marketing to somebody far away who's looking for somebody where you are. I still would reach out and make the phone calls,
Okay.
talk to people. If you can't get there in person, to spend a day doing some in-person marketing in that area, then I would be picking up the phone just so they can be reassured that they are hiring somebody that's experienced and professional, because that's obviously very important to them, especially after the last couple of years where we've had a lot of notaries that just came in the business really quickly to make a quick buck. And some of these title offices got burned from that.
Thank you.
So, a great question.
Thank you.
Thanks for adding to that, Jen. And thanks, Catherine, for asking the question. How about, is it DeAndrea?
Andrea.
DeAndrea. Okay, thank you. Please share your question and where are you from?
I am from Texas. And this is just a really basic, simple question, but it's just something I'm like, should I do this or should I not? You know, in the Notorial, when the certificate where it has the Notorial language and it has known to me, proved by the oath of, then you have to put like whether it's a driver's license or then it says, or personal knowledge or something like that. Do you have to cross out whatever you don't use? Like if you're using the driver's license, do you have to cross out personal knowledge and initial it, or does it even matter?
Laura, you're on mute.
Yeah, I was muted. Jen, do you want to answer that or you want me to?
I'm going to be honest with you. I was reading a question in the chat from Nana. I apologize. She's asked on the notarial certificate if it's the wrong county.
No.
No, sorry. I'm sorry, John. I apologize. I heard that you were asking about a certificate and I made the assumption that Laura was going to take it. I apologize. I was trying to cover the chat question.
I could repeat. Do I need to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
Yes.
On your notarial certificate.
Yeah, you know, in the language where it asks before me, blank on this day personally appeared, blah, 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 known to me, or approved by the oath or through whatever identification you're going to use. Whatever you don't use, do you need to cross that out and initial it, or does it matter? Because I've done it both ways and no one has ever came back to me and say anything.
I put NA in those. I don't put just a line through it because somebody could potentially write something underneath that or over it, you know, so I just put NA on those lines. And I've checked with the Secretary of State in Texas when I started doing that, and they said that that was perfectly fine. So I don't know what the general consensus is, but I do know around the country, but I do know in the state of Texas that they said putting an NA there is perfectly fine.
Okay, thank you.
And I apologize for not listening, Deandra.
No worries, no worries.
All right, thanks so much for your question. And we're going to move on to Sabrina.
Hi, good afternoon. So Sabrina from California. I had a question. Let's see, I think Catherine had kind of talked about a little bit about marketing. My question was, I've been trying to just think of different ideas. I know that with loan signing, it slowed down. And of course, there's always general notary work. So I've been trying to find like ways to, I guess, talk to the different businesses locally. But of course, it's a little bit out of my comfort zone. So like trying to go, like recently I've had some of the customers or clients that come from the hospitals or tow agencies. They got to get their car out. And of course, they don't have like a notary that they preferred notary. They just tell their clients, you know, go ahead and look them up on Google. So I was trying to figure out like a way to approach those, I guess, businesses, or is there like a certain way to go about it that I don't look like strange as walking up there and letting them know that I want to offer my services? I know you mentioned something about, I think it was notaryreviews.net. I tried to write it down, but I didn't catch it, where it goes over different ways to approach those businesses that you help out with, stuff like that. I was just trying to get the information down so I can look into it more.
Sure. So notaryreviews.net is for signing services. What you're looking for is signingagentmarketing.com. And
okay.
That's my website. We teach all different kinds of ways to become comfortable being uncomfortable. Anytime we do something new, like marketing our businesses in person to other business owners, yeah, it's very uncomfortable because it's not something that you're used to doing. And so we work with you to get past that fear that we all naturally have in that situation, and just kind of how to push past it and the things to say. We've got some scripts for you, the things to, how to follow up with them, how to keep in touch with them, which is really the meat of it. The hard part is the follow-up. It's not even the meeting in person the first few times. Once you kind of get into the groove of it, that's what you start to realize is the difficult part in business is keeping in touch with everyone and not just meeting them for the first time. So I'll put this in the chat for you, Sabrina. So it's signing agent marketing, if I could spell it right, .com. And you're welcome to email me if you have any questions about it.
I have a suggestion too. Can I give a suggestion?
Sure.
If anybody wants to DM me on Facebook, you can. I've been doing this type of marketing as a loan officer for many, many years. So I could also offer some people some tips and trips on how to approach people if they'd like to, because this is in my bailiwick. Okay.
Put your information in the chat so people can get in touch with you.
Okay.
Susan.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I've had some good success with nursing homes, by the way. I've been getting regular business from them. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I love working with the nursing homes. I love it. So yeah, Sabrina, there's all kinds of different things you can do to expand your business that way, and reach out to the resources that are there to help you. Laura, do you have anything?
I think I covered it pretty good. I moved into a slightly noisier environment. I don't know if you hear the music in the background, so I'm going to stay muted unless I'm asked a question so that we don't have that disturbance. And Jen, if you could control the board for a little bit, that would be great.
You got it. You got it, boy. She's leaving me in charge. This is going to be scary. Hey, Matt. You are on mute.
Thanks, Jen. Thanks, Laura. So Nana Good left a great question, actually a great share and question in the chat. I wanted to bring to the forefront. And so she's just starting out. She joined her local chamber of commerce. There was a little bit of confusion there, but they finally got her settled. And when they found out what she did, they were very excited to hear that. And now she has a meeting with the ED to discuss the possibility of becoming their designated notary for all of their members. And her question is, how should she prepare for this meeting? What should she bring? Because she's never done anything like this, and it's kind of out of her comfort zone.
That is, Matt, the question that got me distracted when DeAndrea was asking her question, because part of me inside was like, yay, you go, girl, you got this meeting. That's amazing. So congratulations, Nana. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. What a great thing to happen, to join your chamber and automatically be asked to be the preferred notary that they recommend. So you go to that breakfast, and the number one thing you need to bring, this is most important thing, so please write this down, is your absolute best authentic self. That is what you need to bring. Your smile, a stack of business cards if you want something physically to bring so that they can pass these out to people that ask for a notary. But be your authentic self. Don't go in there thinking that you have to put on some kind of big show or fudge experience to make yourself look better or make yourself sound better. You're wonderful just the way you are. So be your authentic self. Be grateful. Like I said, give them a stack of business cards so that they can pass those out, and maybe inquire if that particular chamber that you just joined does some articles about new businesses in the area, and send them a headshot and tell them that you would love to be featured and highlighted in their next news article to let everybody in town know that you are the notary that your chamber recommends.
Hey, Jen, can I go further with that?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Just talked about this earlier today, didn't we?
That's what I was just going to say. So if the people on the call right now are not members of MBB, you just missed a great 3-week thing on small marketing tips, and the first one that we had was all about being your authentic self and creating something that's unique about you. And that's the like Jen just said, that is the utmost foremost important thing. And so if you missed that, you can go back on the MBB. But if you're not a member, I suggest you join, because that was an awesome 3-week thing that we had done to present a lot of information for people. So this is one of those situations that it's applicable for, right, Jen?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of times, because I did this when I was starting out. I mean, I admit this fully. I felt like when I was marketing my business in the beginning that I had to present myself differently than I was, because I was scared to say that I was new and starting out. I was scared to say that I, didn't have a ton of experience. I felt like if I admitted that, right, that they were, oh, I'm not going to use you, you're brand new. I didn't realize that business was about developing relationships and being authentic. And in the time, I think about the time I wasted.
Right. And a lot of it, Jen, too, is just sitting down and having the conversation like we're having right now, one-on-one, authentic conversation. It's what I do when I'm on the radio. It's what makes it so great with the other hosts and guests, because that's what it is. It's authentic and we're just chatting. And that's kind of how you have to kind of do this when you're doing that one-on-one with other people.
Yeah. And I think that's the most important part about it, is just being yourself. It's okay to be a little bit vulnerable. But in a situation like what Nana is talking about, being grateful for the opportunity and providing them the resources they need to pass your name out, like a stack of your business cards that has your phone number on it, like Daniel said earlier, so that people know how to get in touch with you.
Like to add one more thing to that, Jen, and that is to ask a really important question. And that empowering question is, how can I support you in this business? Right? How can I bring value? What can I do to make the chamber more successful? Because they're a membership organization, right? So they're in it in business as well. So having them know that you're interested in the success of that membership organization would be a very good place to start.
That's a great point, Laura. That's an absolutely great point. Yes, they are also in business to grow their membership, and helping them with that is also something that's really important. So yeah, great call there. And thanks, Cammie, for the backup there. So Catherine, do you have another question for us?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, Cammie, can you say what that group was that you just mentioned?
Yes, so it's the Notary Business Builder. It's a group of networking where Jen and Laura and Bill Soroka are in charge of it. And I just happened to have a guest host or hosted, co-hosted with Jen Neitzel the last 3 weeks on authentic building relationships. So basically it was called Small Town Marketing Tips, which the secret to that was, as Jen says, is that they still work in the larger groups. But the first week we spent literally 2 hours on really delving in on what it's like to be your authentic self and creating a uniqueness about you. Because one of the things that you have to think about is, and I always use this analogy, and I don't want to put it down, but it's like lawyers are a dime a dozen. Notaries are kind of like dime a dozen. So you have to think about what it is that makes you unique as a notary, and what kind of perspective and business that you're going to be able to bring to the other person. And so we really delved into that. So if you weren't a member, you didn't get to hear it, there are the replays, and I really suggest becoming a member, because this group offers so much more than just what I've just talked about right now. There's so many Zooms each week that I go bonkers sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna miss the Zoom. So it's a really great group. So I really suggest that.
How can you join?
How can you join? Well, there's a link, I believe, in the chat for Notary Business Builder, and you can check it out. Is that correct? Did we have that link in there?
I was gonna say, Laura, we could just sit here and like,
I know, right? Here goes Cammie and her little radio thing going on. So there's a link right there.
It is.
So there should be a link in the chat for you.
It is. You're going to go to notarycoach.com /NBB for Notary Business Builder. And Shayla Zimmerman has put it in the chat, www.notarycoach.com /NBB. And it talks about all of the different offerings that we have. It is a group that Laura and Bill and I started last year in December is when we soft launched. It's a group for advanced notaries looking to build a sustainable business. And we talk about everything from mindset, which is Laura's specialty, one of her specialties that she teaches, building authentic relationships, how to do that. We go over the 5-point marketing system that Sam, Signing Agent Marketing, teaches. Sam is a part of Notary Business Builder as well. And we also have all different kinds of technology inclusions, SEO, content creation, all of that kind of stuff. So it's a really vast teaching and coaching platform for people that really are long-term business owners in the notary world. Am I missing anything there, Laura? It's such a hard thing to describe.
It is. Well, we also leverage CRM technology as part of what we do and utilize that to make it easier to scale our business. Also, if you follow me, and I have Laura Biewer Presents as well as Real World, those are both included as part of your MBB membership rather than paying for them separately.
And one other thing to also look at on this MBB situation is what I think I get the most out of it is what I call continuing education, or CEU. And this is really important because you're constantly giving updates on what's going on. People are talking about the latest laws that might be going on in different states. Your state, you're paired up with other people. And this is another selling point a lot of times to your escrow officers, to your title companies, to the attorneys who don't know what the hell they're doing because they're not a notary type person, right? So these are the really good backups that you're one of these notaries that is continuing to learn about the business and the laws behind it. You're not just somebody who took a commission and then 4 years later you're taking your renewal and you did nothing in between.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know that Cami and several other NBB members that when they talk about their membership in Notary Business Builder, it is always met with a resounding, wow, I didn't know they had such a thing. I didn't know notaries could do continuing education. That's great. You know, it's definitely, and it is great because we are learning and kind of growing together. It's a really cool space to be. But I guess that's easy for me to say as, as co-founder, right, Laura? Thank you for asking that question though, Catherine. Do we have any other questions?
Is it about 10 minutes?
Is it quiet because it's month end? Well, here's what I want to know. I'm going to ask you guys a question. What is everybody doing, or what is everybody thinking about doing for their holiday marketing plans? Have I stumped you, or has anybody started thinking about that yet? Cami, I saw you sent me an email.
I know, me. I'm always thinking of this.
I know. So what is on your list? And I see Amy's got hers too, but Cami, go ahead.
Really cool is last year what I did for these are the escrow officers or title companies that give me a lot of business. So what I did is I did a locally owned coffee shop. That's my favorite coffee shops. That I'm very, very into locally owned businesses and supporting them. And I know the owner very well. So what she did for me is we set up a package where I said, okay, I want to spend $150. There's 12 people, 14 people. So she makes and roasts her own coffee beans. So she provided her great coffee. And the AirPods, right? So she delivered the coffee to the escrow or the title company, along with an array of pastries that they home make there at the bakery. And so that was just, they thought I had been the manna from heaven and came down and gave them all kinds of great stuff. So I'm doing that again this year for my 2 top ones, because that is a little pricey. So I get away with probably $75 to $100 on one and probably $150 on the other. Yeah. So that's my Christmas present to them. In addition to that, I'm also getting National Pen just sent me a really great offer for the pens that I normally use. along with a really cute keychain that has the little light thing on the bottom of it where you press it, it's light, and it comes in this really nice box. And it's presented really well. It looks, in fact, I showed it to my son. He's like, "Oh my God, that's really nice." And I think it's like $2.69. So I ordered 100 of those, and those are going to go to each one of my EOs and my special clients that utilize me on a regular basis.
Oh,
So
very
that's
cool.
my Christmas. Yeah.
Very cool. Did you put that in the email to me earlier?
I did.
I'm actually, you're talking about MBB. I'm working on a list at a presentation for holiday marketing ideas for MBB. So thank you. I asked MBB members to share with me their ideas.
Yes,
So we all
I did. I
combine
sent that
ideas,
to you.
right?
Yeah.
Amy, what is your marketing plan this year for the holidays?
Well, as far as the notary work goes, what I do, and I've done this forever since I've ever owned my own business, which has been, too many years to count. But I love the trick or treat Halloween. I love doing something for the kids. So think about that. You've got all of these people walking up to your door and they expect you to hand them something. I hand them something with a sticker on it with my business, because you know what little kids do with stickers, right? They put them everywhere. So I always put a sticker on the candy. So that way they know there's a notary that lives in the area, because obviously they walked to my house, right?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I love that. That's really a good idea. I'll have to, I might steal that this year. If I've got time in the next few days for Halloween. Leland, are you there? You are on mute.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, there you are.
All right. So I got two things going on. Halloween, yes, I am definitely I want to give back to the children. So I have these little woven bags that I bought for 50 cents last year during COVID. Bought a slew of them, got like 500 of them. Set them up with, set them up as trick or treat. And I'm going to put a flyer in there for Halloween safety with all my information on there, and deliver them to like the daycare centers, the after school programs, so they can give them out to their to the students.
There you go. Look at you.
And for Christmas, for the end of the year, I am working on making a calendar. I am on Publisher, my heart, blood, sweat, and tears, creating a calendar with pictures that I've taken of different things and how it kind of ties into my notary work, and I'm giving those out to all of my clients that I run across, or nursing homes or hospitals that I go into.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate that so much.
Working on it.
That's good. Phil, what do you do for holiday marketing?
Well, I do nothing because I'm frugal Phil, but what I do want to make sure everyone understands is that I'm not a tax attorney, I'm not a CPA, I'm not an attorney in any way, shape, or form. But I know from 30 some years of being an entrepreneur, I can write off up to a certain amount of money per business gift. So if you are not writing these business gifts off, or don't know how to do that, or have some questions on that, please call your PPLSI attorney and let them give you some guidance in regard to how to do it correctly. Because I save a lot of money, because I write off every gift I give, even the gifts to my family. They are legally tax deductible business events. So check your state, check your tax attorney, check your PPLSI, and write off a whole lot of money. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, anything I buy for anybody. So I saw a few things in the chat, and since we don't have any hands up, we've just got a few minutes left. You guys are looking for some holiday marketing ideas. So really quickly, I'll preview some of the things that we're talking about inside Notary Business Builder that are going out here in the next, I think tomorrow is one of the days we're sending some things out. I tier, like Cammie was talking about, I tier my gift packages, meaning my biggest clients, the ones that send me the most business. I had a builder office that basically have my own office. I'm there several times a week. They're my biggest source of money. They're going to get the biggest gift. And because there's $4,000 or $5,000 a month coming in from that one source, I want to give them something large. So I would choose, like Cammie was talking about, the $150 to $200 gift, right, to send to them. What I normally choose to do is pick a really nice restaurant in the area, and deliver a really nice lunch for them. Now I realize that's not in everybody's budget, right? So another way you can express your gratitude at the holiday time, which is really what these holiday gifts are about, is, and I saw somebody else ask this about homemade treats. You can, for your large offices, you can make a breakfast or lunch for them. Bring it in the metal pans. This is something you have to prearrange with them. But I have done scrambled eggs in one big aluminum pan, another aluminum pan with fresh cut fruit, and not just cantaloupe and honeydew, but like the good stuff, like berries, like the Chick-fil-A fruit, right? That's my favorite. Biscuits and gravy, homemade biscuits, homemade sausage gravy, dropped off some holiday plates. And I sat there and I served it to them, and I brought them breakfast at their desk. And when years ago, when I didn't have a lot of money to spend on gifts, just to express my gratitude for all of the business. If you're looking for something a little more practical, the one thing that really, really went over big, and I've done this for several years in a row, is I go to Costco, and I buy bottles of wine. And you can pick whatever budget you want from a bottle of wine at Costco, right? And when you put those bottles of wine in a sink full of just room temperature water, those labels just slide right off, and you can order your own labels. And the favorite one that I have done is a real fancy, I wish I know exactly where they are. They're in the other room. It'll take me too long to get them, but it's a pretty label that says, in case I'm the reason you drink, happy holidays from Jen Neitzel at Neitzel Notary, right? And which is my signing company's name. So they're getting a bottle of wine with a funny label on it, and it's something that sticks in their head. And that's the point. You just want them to remember that you've expressed your gratitude for a year full of great business, mediocre business, and even only 1 or 2 jobs, because everybody that's given you business deserves some kind of gift. I would also recommend, like Cammie said, go to your local shops, your local home-owned mom and pop stores, the gift shops, the baked goods store. Introduce yourself to the owner. Tell them that you too are a small business owner and you would love to help support their small business by purchasing items in bulk for gifts. If you can find, something small in a gift shop, or if you want to do individual baked goods, and work out a deal with them when it's not the corporate Starbucks kind of place, right? Who is relegated by laws that are made by the Starbucks Corporation. And it's, Cammie behind the counter at the bake shop, who is the CEO. She can negotiate deals with you that others maybe couldn't. So leverage those relationships. It does 2 things. It's probably going to get you a discount if you ask. And the worst they're going to say is no. And the second thing is, it's going to let that business owner know that you are a mobile notary in their town. And if they need to use your services down the road, you're starting a relationship with them. So Laura, do you have any ideas on holiday marketing?
I thought the ideas you already put out there are great. I don't really have anything to add at the moment. I'm trying to check people back in, so I'm not paying a lot of attention.
Gotcha.
Can I just say, Jen, I love the idea of what, in case you're the reason why I drink.
Yeah. That was a big,
okay. Talk about
good...
being unique and different. That is awesome. So that is like something to think about for people, is like, what a great, unique thing that you did. I mean, that's really awesome. If you guys want some
funny labels or to put on anything, whether it's a bottle of wine or a gift label, or, just something that's funny, just Google it. Literally Google funny wine bottle sayings. That's where I got that. It'll give you all kinds of funny stuff that you can put out there, and it just makes somebody smile. And that's kind of really the point, isn't it? It's just to express a little bit of gratitude, especially around the holiday season. So oh, hey, Jim, you have a question for us before we wrap up?
Well, yeah, more of a comment.
Yeah.
So part of my marketing plan, guess what it is? It's Google, So here's just a simple thing you could do today and make a difference for your business tomorrow, right? Do a Google post about the business that you want. You want more trust? You want more general notary work? Go to your Google business page, make a post, make a photo that looks, something that relates to the post, make your post, post it. That's my hint for the day.
Love that. Love that, Jim. Yes, put it out into the universe. Paula, I see your hand raised. We got to be quick because we are over time. What do you have for us?
What's the, how do I get at the 4 o'clock, the wedding officiant? What's the website to get on the Zoom?
It's Clubhouse. It's not a website. You have to have
Clubhouse.
on your phone.
Okay, I got it. Clubhouse.
Notary Cousins. Yeah, Notary Cousins. Thank you guys all for joining us today. This was super fun. I always love when I get to come and hang out on TNT. Thanks, Matt, for the help today. I appreciate it. You guys have a fabulous day. We'll see you next week on TNT. Thanks for joining us. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Buddy.